Arr, you know better. You really do. Hey, it's Richard Cameron here. You know me. Some folks know me as Coach Richard. Why am I here? I'm here just because I just see so much cognitive dissonance going on these days. It isn't funny. Just down my little town here and stuff, and people lined up for another shot. Yes, indeed. You just think that after a while, people would figure out, start listening to their heart. Okay, listen to their heart, not this nonsense of the craziness of the messengers of mediocrity that something's wrong, right? 2 weeks, right? 2 meters, 2 shots, to 3 to 4, perhaps more. Clearly what folks were talking about and going on to the masses was not right at all. The data showed us that a long time ago. I know I talked about that. I know I've people who've been around me. I've shared the information about what we saw, the emerging signals, all these different things happening and going on. And at the end of the day, it's proving out to be exactly right. In fact, it would appear that the way that we roll out this vaccine is really creating these variants. Yep, that's it. This is not a pandemic of the unvaccinated. In fact, the data will show you right now that viral loads and ability to transmit is equal, perhaps even a little bit more than equal for folks that have been vaccinated as compared to the unvaccinated, particularly folks that have contracted this and may or may not have even known they had it, and they went on through life that way. But isn't that interesting, right? We can't do that because that would be an inconvenient truth as compared to continue to propagate a reassuring lie. That what the end result will be years down the road, we don't know. Hopefully nothing. Hopefully everything will be just fine and right. But at the end of the day, it's not right to continue to tell people over and over again things that are not true. Period. Okay? But you have to decide, you. Not me, not anybody else, right? You have to decide to look at the real data. You have to decide. And by the way, if you want a real interesting exercise for yourself, start searching for things on a service called DuckDuckGo, not Google. Why? Because Google curates the information they want you to see, not the information that you're actually asking for. So unbiased, uncurated information in a service called DuckDuckGo. Yeah, duck is in the bird, right? DuckDuckGo. Interesting stuff. But it just goes on from there. Remember a word that was being used not too long ago. Again, it was a reassuring lie. Some people call it the noble lie, right? Well, that's bullshit. You know it. I know it. But a reassuring lie for people rather than inconvenient truth. They were talking about, well, this inflation isn't going to be anything. It's just going to be transitory. It's just going to be like a wave that comes through and then carries on. Anybody who was paying attention and knew and had at least some degree of common sense that could look around knew that that was not true. Was not true. Well, lo and behold, now it's like, well, maybe that was like the worst prediction ever known to mankind, economically. Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, it is. And yeah, it was. But again, it was something to reassure the population, reassure you, reassure me, reassure the people around you, reassure all that sort of thing. But that just wasn't something that was going to be real. So what's the next one coming up? Well, it's going to be the reassuring lie to yourself coming up as compared to an inconvenient truth. Reassuring lie is going to be, come January 1, my life's going to be different, right? I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to live healthier. I'm going to make more money. I'm going to do all these sorts of things, right? The same thing that you've been telling yourself over and over and over and over and over and over again. Year in and year out, year in and year out, year in and year out, a resolution, a resolution, a resolution. It's going to be better, it's going to be better, it could be better. And come the middle of February, beginning of March, all those things have been abandoned. It just felt good at the moment because it really was just a reassuring lie to yourself rather than an inconvenient truth that it actually would take work, would actually take a plan, it would actually take an association of people around you to help you get from where you are today to where you want to be at the end of 2022. Because that's just the world as it is, right? You're going to be the average of the 5 people you're closest to, that surround yourself with. That's a real true statement on that side. So as again, I look around and I go, hey, yeah. I was reminded of a movie I saw, oh, I don't know, maybe 70s or 80s or thereabouts. It was Richard Pryor, but it was actually a line he took, I think, from Groucho Marx. And the line was, who do you believe, me or your lying eyes? Yeah, what? His wife had walked in, he was in bed with somebody else or whatever it was, and he's just sitting, who do you believe, me or your lying eyes, right? That sort of thing. Well, guess what? It surrounds you everywhere. Today, a lot of people choose to abandon that. You know, I think in 1963, a Twilight Zone. You know, again, it was the reassuring lie, right? It was the thing which it was called to serve man. Oh, this is great. This is wonderful. Look at these people have come. They're going to be better, us better mankind. And at the end, they go, to serve man. It's a cookbook. We've known about this for a long time, right? This whole thing of cognitive dissonance, right? This disparity where if things aren't really in line with the things that we feel, right, we'll sort of justify, our actions or our lack of action or whatever it is along that line, because it just makes us feel better because there's little or no effort, not as much effort going into it. It's just something else that we know. And that's just not so good sometimes, guys. So what I say, this is easy to solve. Because you see, there's greatness in you. There's intuitive knowledge inside of you. Things that let you know that you can make decisions one way or another, as long as you are making the decisions. You have the proper information, not somebody curating the information for you and just vomiting it out of their mouth over and over again on radio or TV or all these sorts of pieces, this concerted effort to align a message that may not be in your best interest. But you have to make that decision. Whatever that decision is, then it is a proper decision for you. Maybe not the proper outcome, but it's a proper decision. But by taking action based on not knowledge of yours, not background, not investigation for you, not from that standpoint of that great authentic curiosity and critical thinking, to ask yourself those key questions like, is what I'm doing aligned with what I want to see as a real outcome? Be it for health, be it for prosperity, be it for contribution, whatever that is, that's your deal. Your deal. Nobody else's deal. Your deal. Yeah, that's the wonderful thing about supposedly where we live these days. but we're global in nature, right? Our ability to reach out, to communicate on a mass basis. You walk around with a communication device and computer and knowledge base in your pocket. Okay? You have the ability to really investigate, to look. And I don't mean from the standpoint of going in with looking for really authenticating a bias. I mean from a standpoint of looking for the information that you really want. And please understand that Google is not your friend. Boy, I've seen that like mad. I was looking for some information the other day about some stats coming out of Ontario. Profoundly disturbing statistics. I think I could find it on Google? Nope. Could I find it on DuckDuckGo? You bet I could. That's exactly where I did. Why? Because again, they're not curating the information. They're just literally providing the information indexed based on what you're asking for, what you're curious about, not what they want you to see based on their particular biases and those sorts of things. So anyways, yep, this is going on long enough, but somewhere down the road, somebody and some people who've been around a little bit, like good old Coach Richard, know. I mean, we absolutely know that this is not the first time we've seen it, and it's not the last time we'll see it, but we know that there's greatness in you. There's great ability inside of you. You were born golden from golden, and you have the ability to take back that ownership, right, and go live your dash, go own your dash, rather than have somebody own it. All right, that's it from here. That's it from Camp Cameron. Take care. Be well.